So,
You're on.
when you're ready. Okay, this is the planning board meeting of June 27th. If we could please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
I'd like to apologize to everybody in the public for waiting for me. Thank you. I was a little preoccupied upstairs with the selection. Thank you.
Okay. We'll start sign permit for JLK Realty. What do you could see, there we got a microphone there, you could sit in the chair, you could stand.
Pretty simple stuff.
You don't have to look into the camera, but you can look at the board, I guess.
You guys have copies of
I spoke to Jack Hunter about this morning, and he thought that the sign was, fit all the dimensional requirements, and that it was, actually a very nice sign. So, but if you give us the background on this,
Absolutely.
please.
Yep. So for the freestanding sign, pylon sign that's going to have 5 tenant panels, pretty much the whole structure is going to be aluminum. The frame system underneath will be aluminum. It's going to have brushed aluminum faces on it. It's going to have raised letters at the top for the address, and then 5 individual tenant panels that'll be applied to it. And yeah, the outside structure's 5 by 10, but the overall signage is about 35 square feet when you add up all the tenant plant panels on the top. Yeah, and on the plan, we're going to try to position it in the middle of the island that's there. Probably centered on the building.
Now, where is this? Is this building existing?
No, it's just a piece of property right now that he's excavated.
Right in
Oh,
between the church and the cranberry bog.
Yes.
Oh, okay,
Foundation in place.
yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Down near the Berry guys.
Yes.
Okay,
Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. So it'll be a 2-sided sign. And he just wanted something a little more on the industrial side because it's going to be obviously contractor bays.
Is that, through you, Mr. Chair, is that running parallel with Route 58?
It is.
Or
Yeah. Yeah. It's a 2-sided sign. We just couldn't position
how
it.
how far back from the road?
Well, we gotta be what? We gotta be 12?
I believe that there are dimensional requirements set by the state to go back for that signage. Not only from the town. The town, I believe, is 10 feet.
Mhm.
I could be wrong. I don't have my book with me, but I would recommend to be back far enough for viewing.
At least that, always.
And I do
Yes.
believe that the state has requirements going back from the state road there.
No, if you're gonna have to get a building permit for this.
Absolutely.
The building inspector
Building
would,
Is you
look at
proposing
that.
any lighting?
5 spots from the bottom.
All right, so there'll
LEDs
be
or something.
building and electrical permits that'll be required. Other than that, Mr. Chair, I don't have a problem with it.
And they're gonna have enter and exit signs. 'Cause
That's
he
per the
wants-
plans,
Yeah.
the approved plans from the planning board, correct?
And then as far as the building is concerned, he's gonna have 5 tenants on the building, and each frontage is about 24 foot long. So what he wanted to do was put a standard panel up on the building that we're gonna supply for him, and it's gonna be PVC panels that we're gonna apply to the building. So there'll always be a backer board there. Jamie cares about what the thing looks like 5 years and 10 years down the line. So by doing this, the sign's never going to come off the building. There's never going to be any other holes in this building. It's always going to be applied to the backer board that we're going to put on the front of the building, which will be PVC. And then we will apply a sign panel to that, which will be smaller than that.
Question on that, and I'm
Yes.
glad you brought that up, question on that. Those additional signs, I I don't remember them being approved as the special permit for that, the development of this plan.
Right, I don't believe they were.
He would exceed the square footage for signage at that stage of the game. So you would need to have a special permit for that signage. If I,
Even if
If
it's, even per tenant? Yeah, okay.
I believe that because you're exceeding the square footage of the allowable total square foot signage of the building. Normally what ends up happening in previous applications that we've had in the town is that they'll do the marquee with the building all in one signed package. Normally on the application as they were going through the design and the special permit of the development.
Okay.
So just, if that's something that he's gonna wanna do,
So if he did nothing and each tenant came in and asked for a sign on the building,
they'd
we
be
would
turned
come
down.
back to you guys.
They'd be turned down,
They'd be
because
turned
the
down.
existing square footage for that development would be done. So it would be beneficial.
Where would it be done by? Because of this?
It would be, because of the marquee square footage maximizes out the square footage allowable of that building. Otherwise, you go past the amount of the square footage that's allowed by the bylaw. So you're looking for a special permit
Okay,
for the signage,
Yeah.
because you want to exceed that
sure.
end of it.
Yeah.
And
So
I
there
don't,
isn't the bylaw doesn't state that you would have a
a marquee and then
marquee
individual.
and then
If
individual
it was
signs?
permitted during the special permit of the building, and I don't have that information, so what I would suggest is that we table this document,
Yeah,
get clarification if we did permit
yeah,
the individual signs on the building,
okay.
or give him direction on how to do that to beneficial, because you wouldn't want to just do the marquee and then
Right.
have to start
Yeah.
over and waste
Sure.
more time
Yeah,
and money.
Absolutely.
I think, I don't have a problem with either end of it.
Mhm.
I think that
Yeah,
it's
it's just the bylaw.
essential.
Right.
Yeah, we have to abide by the bylaws.
Yeah.
It's essential that the marquee's there, and I think it's more important that each individual space has their own individual signs on the building, so that way people know where
Yeah.
they're going,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yep.
especially on that street.
So could we table this then? We'll table this until July 11th?
I think it'd be a
And
good
then next
idea. I
meeting,
mean,
So we can look and see what is on the plan, because Jack isn't here tonight. I don't know if he looked at the plans or not, so we'll have to, he's gonna be in Thursday. I can come in Thursday and talk to him about it and see what we have to do, and I hope this doesn't hold you up. But,
He's just trying to be ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
He doesn't even have to build it
I
up.
think it's a smart move. I think also that the application that he has in front of us, he meets all of the bylaw. It's
Yeah.
just that he wanted to, and it's
Add
good
those extra
information,
signs.
because if he went and put up the signs on the building,
Yeah.
then we end up with the same problem that we had in North Carver, that, different signs being popped all over the place,
Yeah.
and it's
Yeah.
against the
Sure.
bylaw.
Yep.
So I
absolutely.
think it's important, it's a simple thing, that if it's part of the initial plan that we approved, that's great. If it's not, then it just requires a special permit, and you come in front of the town and present exactly what he
Yeah,
wants.
same committee.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And it's just the size of the dimension of the sign, the language that's in it can always be changed.
Okay.
I think we table it for, I'd make a motion just to table this until our next meeting to get clarification to the applicant.
Yeah, it'd be July 11th,
Okay.
okay.
Yep.
I'll second that.
7:15.
Well,
Yeah.
it'll be sometime during that.
Kidding.
No. So the
I
motion
had to
is
give it a
second,
little
Mr.
something
Chair.
there. We have a nice conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, we have motion and a second to table this until the next meeting. Those in favor?
Aye.
Sounds good.
So we'll
Thank
see you
you
the
very much.
11th then.
Appreciate it. Thank
And
you,
we're
guys.
sorry to put you off.
Site looks great.
What's that?
Site looks great down there. Tell the property owner, site looks
Yeah,
great.
Jamie cares.
Looks like he's getting close for the building to come.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you. Good night.
You too.
All right, the next on the agenda is the receipt of plans for Davenport BCCH LLC. And this is just a receipt of plans.
Good evening.
Mr. Cirque, nice to see you again.
Nice to
sir.
see you all. Davenport, which bought Whistleberry Glen from Makepeace, is seeking to modify the special permit that it got, which governed the phasing of the project, limiting the number of permits that could be issued within a 6 or a 12-month period. And it wants to eliminate those requirements entirely, whether it's they who do the developing or whether they sell the subdivision to someone else and does the developing. And so that's what the submission is all about. And we've published notice and mailed notice. We'll have our green cards before you on the 11th.
Okay.
And this is the Whistleberry Glen.
Yes,
This is off of High Street,
correct.
heading, heading to Kingston.
Right near the Kingston line.
Okay. It's not developed at all, but the
The
subdivision
roads
is
are
in.
in. Yeah, I mean, but no houses have been built
Right.
thus far.
All right, so we'll,
And I think you, is this the one that you have to recuse yourself on?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
so hopefully we have other planning board members with us next
Yeah.
meeting.
If Chad is coming on the 11th,
Yeah, we'll have to
Then-
try
then
to
Mr.
find
Hoffman
that
is
out.
here,
Yeah,
then we'll-
and Jim will be here, I will be here.
Yeah.
And Kevin
Be
will
here.
be here, and Will probably be here, but can't participate.
right, and you don't have any alternate,
No.
No,
so
No.
we'll have to run the table.
we'll have to see, yeah. All right.
Okay, that's that.
That's that. So now, then the next thing is a request for an extension for the solar array off of Federal Road. It's 80 Makepeace Company.
Right. This was the one in which both zoning board relief and planning board relief were granted in order to have 3 solar fields on contiguous lots on the west side of Federal Road. Zoning relief was needed because each field had to be on its own lot, and each field was not going to be 200 feet from the lot line because it would spread the facility out and result in a lot more trees being removed. And then the planning board had to grant relief under the solar facilities bylaw. We're coming up against the 1-year limitation for variances in the zoning board case, and we've sent a similar letter to the zoning board for a 6-month extension, and we're asking for a 6-month extension from the planning board as well. It's a matter of dealing with new regulatory governance regarding solar fields, and Borrego is the potential lessee, and we're working on finalizing those details, and we hope that 6 months will give us enough time.
Mr. Chair, through you, my question would be, is 6 months a long enough time that they think, or would you prefer a 1 year?
Well, the reason I said 6 months is because under the variance statute, that's the most I can ask for.
Okay.
And so I figured
Oh, I got you, yeah.
I'd be parallel here.
Cool.
If it's not enough time, then I'll come back for more here, but I can't come back for more there.
Gotcha.
So I want it to be parallel.
Got it.
Okay.
I hope it's enough time, because I don't want to have to go through a whole public hearing again for a variance, but I'll have to if we don't get it done within that time. So that'll be a powerful incentive.
I'm glad you clarified that.
Yeah. And for some reason, the statute on variances says you can only ask for 6 months. And it has to be within the 1-year period. And we did file our request within the 1-year period.
Just for my knowledge,
Yeah.
can you ask? Is that a limitation of a total of 18 months that the variance will be? I'm just curious. I
No,
don't
the
know. that.
variance is normally only good for a year until it's exercised. You can ask for an extension as long as you do it within the year, but the most they can give you is 6 more months.
And is that on start of construction or?
It depends on the exercise of
Got it.
the variance. Now, what we could have done, was to go in and start cutting trees.
Yeah.
But we rather ask for an extension, and then we know we're really set to go. The special permit doesn't have the 1 year, the special permits are now good for 3 years.
Yes.
But you granted site plan approval, and the site plan approval is only 1 year. So we're asking for you, and we're asking from the zoning.
Thank you for the knowledge. That's good. I'll make a motion to extend for the 6 months for the solar array off of Federal Furnace.
Federal Road.
Federal Road, excuse me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion and a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much, folks.
Okay,
Thank
good
you,
night.
Mr. Cirque. Nice to see you
Good
again.
to see you always.
I'll see you on the 11th.
All right, other business, planning board member notes.
I don't have any, sir. Thank you.
I don't have any either.
No, so we don't have any, we don't have any planning director notes because we don't have a planning
Planning
director
director.
with us tonight. We have the minutes of June 13th. Or do we have the minutes of June 13th?
Yeah, it's in the back.
Okay, it's at the bottom of the pile, okay.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of the 13th of 2017, that's June 13th, as written, please.
I'll second that.
So we have a motion, a second. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Correspondence, we don't have any. Next meeting will be July 11th. All right, and Hunter will be here that evening. And maybe we'll know if Jack is gonna be a part-time planner. It's from interim town planner, but we'll see about that. So next is adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Second that.
Second, motion second, those in favor?
Aye.
And good night, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.